What's up, guys? It's your girl Charity B,
And Tyree.
and we just want to welcome you to our podcast,
No turning back.
Hey, guys, what's up? This is your girl Charity B,
And Tyree.
and tonight we are going to talk about the topic: Are you Proverbs 31 or Ephesians 5? So, Tyree, first of all, how you been? Because we've been up here. This been a minute. Life has been definitely lifing. Like life has really been lifing. I mean, we've been.
It's been lifing. But nevertheless, we're back on track.
Right. But yeah, guys. So tonight we're gonna talk about: Are you Proverbs 31 and are you Ephesians 5? So first, we want to talk about what Proverbs 31 is. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Proverbs 31, and we're gonna read it. The wife of noble character. So I'm gonna start it off. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm. All the days of her life, she selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. Okay. She gets up while it's still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. Am I saying that right? Distaff? It's she opens her arms to the poor and extends extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. Okay. She makes covering for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. What do you think about that?
I think it's really deep.
It just basically, I mean, it sounds like she's pretty much a helpmate, and that's what God did for Adam in the beginning. He made him a helpmate.
It's like she's building the foundation in the home front.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like this lady is constantly working, preparing things, in preparation for her husband. She's respectful. Like, let's keep on reading. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. So reading that, like I said, she sounds like a helpmate. She's very respectful to her husband. Her children look up to her. Her husband respects her. It talks about her vanity, like that will of course fleet. You know, beauty doesn't stay. Right. But a woman that fears the Lord, you know, is to be praised. Her characteristics, you know. So, yeah. Do you feel like you are in your life right now? Do you feel like you Proverbs 31?
In some areas I do. In some areas I need work on.
Like, what you feel like you need work on?
As far as being submissive, I got the part of laying the home front down.
Yeah, me too. I could lay the whole front down.
I can break it down. But the submitting part is what I have a problem with.
Yeah, I can definitely take care of the home. I could cook, I can clean, I can make sure your kids are straight, my kids are straight, make sure, you know, you don't need and want for nothing. You know, if you need new this or new that, or if you need me
or
to,
emotional support. I think
yeah,
I got that down pat.
I could definitely even with emotional support.
Yeah.
I'm a very caring person, and I don't want to see anybody down.
And I've always been the type that I want to make sure everybody else good. I want to make
I've
sure,
always been like that
and I put
too.
myself last.
So I do feel like I am Proverbs 31. But see, this is the problem. The problem, like you said, is the submissive part.
Mm-hmm.
The submissive part, when you've been independent
right
for so long,
right,
and then all of a sudden this man comes and he's like,
you looking at him like, boy. Sometimes you've been, like if you've been single 6 or 7 years, and then you get someone and they're telling you your do's and don'ts. You look at them like,
yeah, like okay, first of all,
right.
I mean, but I think
I think it's a way that you're supposed to conduct yourself. I do. Far as being in a relationship and stuff like that. But it's just
But it's a difference between a relationship and your husband.
Right.
Your husband, yeah, you were supposed to be submissive. A boyfriend.
Right. That's where it gets sticky for me at right there.
But see, that's why you don't submit. In the Bible, it doesn't say to submit to your boyfriend. In the Bible, God doesn't even He doesn't even honor boyfriend and girlfriend relationships. He wants us to be married. Mm-hmm. So that's why what we say, a lot of people have different beliefs. Some people don't believe in courting, but a lot of people do believe in courting. Courting is like dating with the purpose to be married.
To me, courting is training ground for marriage.
Exactly. It's a training ground for marriage. And in that process, you aren't supposed to be physical. You're supposed to be getting to know each other and doing things with each other and, just building. Overall. And that don't mean you're supposed to be in that relationship for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Like, no, you're like you said, you're courting, you're getting to know one, you're learning that person and seeing what it is and what the intentions to be married. And if
that's a good fit for you.
Right. But like I said, a lot of people, a lot of Christians don't believe in courting either. I've come to realize that that a lot of people don't believe in courting, and then a lot do. So it's a big difference. But to me, that's surprise. Like because how you supposed to get to know somebody?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do you do that training? How do you get to know what their do's and don'ts, and how do you know the ins and out of a person if you don't court?
Some people just think that you're supposed to just I don't know. I don't know. Because if you just go, just jump right into it,
What is that gonna lead you to?
Destruction. I mean, that's how I look at it. Like, I don't want to just jump into something so quick, and then I'd be like, "Dang, I don't even like this person."
Well, then I didn't see he snore like that in his sleep. Oh, I can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like little things.
Yeah, but the snoring, we could probably work on that. Like, I mean, oh my gosh,
some snoring is just a deal breaker.
Yeah, because my baby daddy. My baby daddy was terrible. Oh my gosh, she snored so bad. It was ridiculous. I'm like, yo, get out. Like, he used to piss me off so bad. Like, I used to take his nose while he's sleeping. I used to squeeze the hell out of it. Like, oh my God. Because that's the only way he would stop snoring. I would squeeze the hell out of his nose. Like, look, you finna, look, get out.
And yeah, that snoring can be a little rough.
But nah, so yeah, I do feel like that. But the submissive part, I feel like I can be submissive to a man if he is playing his role right. Because a lot of men be like, oh, she's not submissive. She doesn't submit to me. She don't do this.
But have you shown me that you can lead?
Can you lead? Can you? Because and it's not even just about leading. Like, we got to dive into Ephesians 5 verse 25, because a lot of men don't know their role as a husband. They think they know their role. They think they know what they're supposed to, what they do. All they know is submit, submit, submit. You're supposed to submit to me. Like, no. Are you doing your role? Like, let's jump into it. Where is Ephesians 5?
It's not fair for me to be doing my role and your role, and then you want me to submit.
You want me to cook, clean, take care of you, and then most of the time the wives are working too. Like, we're not living in the days where the wives were staying at home. Like, nowadays, women are out here working. Women are working more than men are working out here. Women got businesses and all kinds of stuff going on. Like, not to
not
bash men, because there's a lot of successful men out here too. But I'm just saying, women are working just as much or more than men.
Absolutely, I agree.
And then you want us to come home, cook, clean, and take care of the kids and make sure. No. So, let's see. Ephesians 5 verse 25. You want to read it or you want to read it? All right, Ephesians 5 verse 25. All right. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husband in everything. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Let's repeat that again. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated their own body, but they fed and cared for their body, just as Christ does the church. For we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one in flesh. So a lot of people think, a lot of men think, oh, she's not being submissive, but are you loving your wife as Christ loved the church?
Are you following this? Are you being
Are you, yeah, are you Ephesians 5? Like, because a lot of men aren't that. Like, y'all not that. Y'all disrespectful. Y'all belittle, harsh. You speak harshly to your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you loud talk your wife, like disrespectful, and then you want somebody to submit.
Right. Very insecure. Insecure.
It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, because if you want respect, you have to give respect. And so, like I said,
How do you feel about gender roles and sharing gender roles, or the 40, 80 to 50, 60, 20, 30?
It depends on how the household is, honestly. If both people are working, if we both working hard, it depends. I mean, if we both working hard, we both cooking and cleaning, and we doing everything together 50-50. Like, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're washing clothes, we both taking care of the kids, it's not one person that's outweighing the other. Right. It's even, then okay, 50-50. But if you're the husband and you're out working all day and I'm at home cooking and cleaning all day, I mean, taking care of the kids all day, how do you expect me to pay the bills when you making more money than me? So I also feel like, too, again, if you are the provider, and you're leading the household, first of all, I don't know. See, I don't want to say nothing wrong, but at the same time, I feel how I feel. Like I said, if it's 50-50, then it's 50-50. If we both doing everything together equally, okay, cool. But also, I don't want to look at my husband as like, oh, he's just my roommate. Because I could go 50-50 with my homegirl. Right. I could go 50-50 with more than my sisters, for real. So I feel like, I think a real man will want to take care of most of the load anyway. I just think a real man will want to do that. Right.
Like, I don't mind come swooping in and helping,
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind swooping in and helping. I mean, I don't mind, and I'm not saying that I'm.
But then I think about today's world, today's society.
Exactly, the society we live in, everything is so expensive.
So you kind of need two incomes to make everything kind of mesh together.
So yeah, if it was back in the time where it really won't as expensive, yeah, the man should be paying majority of it all, and the wife should be what she's supposed to be, the helpmate. But the fact that we are living in a world that's woman might got to step it up a little bit more.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to sit there and watch your man struggle, because again, we just read what Proverbs 31 was, and she was, even though she was doing a lot of work, inside the home, I do feel like if it
But what
come down.
I think what women need to understand is we carry a certain we're gonna carry a load. We got the kids, we
Exactly.
got the home, we got a set of responsibilities no matter what we have to take on, and we need to understand our place and that our load may be a little heavier. And
Mm-hmm.
we need to learn how to juggle our weight that we're responsible for. And a
Exactly.
lot of women fold over the weight they supposed to juggle,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm not against 50-50, but I also feel like if you're gonna lead and provide,
please go
then
all the way with it.
go all the
Don't
way
half
with it.
step.
Don't halfway step it. But at the
Right.
same time, your wife is supposed to be your backbone.
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to be your helpmate. She's supposed to make sure that the family is good, and not
Yep.
only is the family good, you good. And like I said, it's kind of hard to submit when you got a lot on your plate. So that's why I said y'all both got to be helping each other out. All right, so it's all right. Would you be mad if you didn't meet a husband or didn't ever get married? Like, would you be upset if it's not in God's will? Because how do you know if it's in God's will for you to even be married?
I wouldn't
Like,
be upset. I'm whatever God wants me to have. That's what I'm gonna do. Whatever He asks
but
me to do.
but if that's okay. So if is it in your heart right now to truly be married?
I'm on the fence with that.
You're on the fence. So why are you on the fence with being married? Because you don't want to submit.
Partly of that, and then the marriages that I've seen that been surrounded by, you really think you know someone, but you never really.
So you say you can't trust any man.
I'm not saying you can't trust them. I just say marriage is it's a very sticky thing,
Right.
and you gotta know what you're really getting yourself into.
Yeah. So that's why it's important not to rush things. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta take your time with it, and
Mm-hmm.
you know really know your partner. Get to know your partner.
You gotta really get to know before you make a rash decision.
um.
What about you?
I mean, I don't want to. I don't mind being married. I definitely do want to be married one day. I don't mind. I am a family person. I'm a family type person. I do love to I like being around. I just like family anyway. I've always been family orientated. Holidays come, I'm always like everybody comes to my house. I'm always the one that's cooking and setting up things and bringing the family together, and I don't mind like I said being submissive,
So
but it
what would
has
be
to be
your
the right
issue?
person.
What would be one of your
It has to be the right person. That person has
what
to
would be one of your things that you think you have to work on?
what would I need to work on? Mm, Again, I just feel like it has to be the right person because I feel like if it's the right person, you will naturally submit to them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Everything will flow.
it would just flow in order. It wouldn't be confusion. It wouldn't be, like second guessing. If
Right.
it's the right person, it's the right person, and you just naturally submit to that person. You are gonna want to make that person
That's true.
happy. You're gonna want to make that person happy. So I do want to be married. I mean, I understand that it's not gonna always be up. It's not always gonna be peaches and cream. I know that you're gonna bump into
Oh
some,
yeah, you gonna have some hurdles.
hurdles and some bumps in the road,
Right.
but long as it ain't no adultery, infidelity, or anything like that. But
Right.
even with that, people do cheat in marriages and people stay.
That's true.
I don't know, but like I said, if I'm married and I make that covenant to God, then I'm gonna be with this person till death do us part. Then my goal is to be with that person till death do us part. Like I don't
Right.
have, intentions of walking away unless it just gets to a point where I
You
have
don't
no
have any
choice.
choice.
I'm just that truly unhappy.
So you feel like you want to stay and you want to fight.
I mean, I'm not about to just let no dude just be cheating on me.
Right.
Like you ain't about to just be cheating on me.
So under what circumstances are you willing to stay and fight for your marriage?
I mean, if he cheated once, would I let it slide?
Mm.
Uh, if that's is that what you asking me? Like, what are the
No,
circumstances?
what I'm
Like,
asking you, like, yeah, what scenario would you stay and fight for?
um, As long as
Like
it ain't.
drug addiction, would you stay with that? Yeah, because I mean, he's not cheating or anything. He's addicted.
It depends. It depends. I mean, drug addiction. Are you violent? Some people who have drug addictions, they get violent.
I mean,
They become abusive.
very
Like,
abusive. And if he's stealing from you and stealing from the household, how do you?
nah, I can't deal with that. Like, nah, that I can't deal with. I don't even think God would want me in that situation. Like, a lot of people say, yeah, it's just about you. I had to look that up too because I was like, well, when the Bible was talking about how, what God brings together, nothing can tear it apart, and you shouldn't leave your marriage unless it's adultery. But I'm like, if you sitting there getting abused and beat on, and
What are you supposed to do?
I think, shoot,
I
I think you can walk away from
Yeah,
that. I'm like, I don't think God gonna be mad at me, but
now, if you're going through a psych issue, maybe I will say, because I mean, you gonna get some hurdles in your marriage.
yeah, you're gonna get hurdles in your
And
marriage,
it's
but
just
I just can't deal with abusiveness, verbal abuse, physical abuse. I can't deal with constant arguing. Constantly arguing. I mean, I understand that, you're gonna go through some things, but every other day we arguing and fighting. Like, why are we arguing and fighting every other day? Like, something is not lining up. Something is off. And that's why I say take your time before you make those choices of what you want to do. A psych issue.
It depends on what the psyche issue is too, kind of, because that can get a little wild too.
Like I said, as long as you ain't putting your hands on me, as long as I'm not fearing for my life, or I feel like this man is gonna kill me, or I don't know. But
I guess it's just case by case, and you
it's a
gotta pray
case by
about it.
case scenario. It's something
Yeah.
you got to go to God about. And but I would hope that when you get into a marriage, you take your time with it and you really make that choice. Like, okay, can I really see myself with this person? And and like I said, if it's the right person, I feel like it'll all flow. There won't be no confusion. It'll
God
just
don't bring
flow.
confusion.
Yeah, God is not the author of confusion.
Mm-mm.
Um, so yeah. So yeah. Um, would I be mad at God, or not mad at God, but would I be upset that I don't have a husband if that's in his will not for me to be married? Well, I will say this. It is one of my desires in life to eventually be married. I'm 38 years old. I mean, I do want to eventually be married, settle down. Um, I mean, right now, I feel like I could settle down if I really wanted to. And honestly, I mean, I do want to, but it just got to be the right. It gotta everything.
And if that's what God wanted for you not to have a husband, I'm pretty sure He's going to fulfill whatever He's going to fulfill you and make you happy. I don't think that you're going to be depressed. I think in that situation you would definitely own it. Own that's His calling that He has for you.
Yeah, I feel like, and it says in the Bible, asking you shall receive. So if you ask God for a wife or a husband, I'm sure He will give it to you. It says, asking you shall receive, seek and you shall find. He knows the desires of our heart. Exactly. So I do feel like God will bring me a husband. Am I pressed? I ain't pressed.
We also, in this dating process, we have to really be aware of counterfeits.
Mm.
You know, that the counterfeit can look, they can dress up and it look right.
Mm.
You got to think about it and you got to break that thing down. You know, you got to break that person down. When you're dating them.
You gotta, I guess, you just discernment.
Mm-hmm.
Ask God for discernment, and
Because a lot of people put up their representative. You're not even seeing the real person. If you're dating if you're dating the first year, that first 6 months is the representative. I don't care what nobody say. You're not really showing. I don't feel like you're showing the real you. I
yeah,
don't know how
I
you feel
mean,
about
because I
that.
feel, yeah, I agree with that because I mean, you can, but then again, stuff like you said, stuff uncovers.
Mm-hmm.
The more and more you get, the more and more you hang with people. I want to see you when you mad. I want to see you when you happy. I want to see you when you upset. I want to see you when you sad. Every emotion, because you know You mad, you might be somebody completely different. You might I mean, I understand you can be completely different, but are you gonna be, when you get mad, are you gonna take your anger out on me?
Right.
Are you gonna be like, you
Are
turn
you
into a
are you
maniac or a
irrational?
psychopath?
Are you irrational? Are you emotionally mature? Are you impulsive?
Mm,
You know, those things, you know, you gotta look at.
hmm
Impulsive behavior.
Right. So yeah, I say take your time with it
And pray about it, and
pray about it and
God
get
will deliver.
discernment. Mm-hmm.
When that person comes, I believe you're gonna know. You're not gonna have to ask anybody about it. It's you're gonna know this is God. You know, God, you sent this to me. I'm not saying they're gonna be perfect.
Right.
Not
Nobody's
saying
gonna be
that. Nobody's
perfect.
gonna be perfect. But the confusion will not be there.
Mm. So how is your dating life right now?
Very dry.
Very dry. You so
Dry.
stupid.
It's dry, and I'm good. And I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Right.
What about you?
Mm. It is. It's dry. I mean, it ain't dry, but it's dry.
Right.
It's not where I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, it's dry. I mean, I had a friend. Um, I had a guy that I was dating. It just didn't work out. Yeah, but I won't sit up here and be disrespectful or anything like that or bash that person, because that person, he is a good person. He's a sweet guy. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. Um,
It
and
may not work out for right now.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
yep, it just didn't work out. So right now it's probably just bad timing. But then again, I don't know. Uh, we'll see. I'll just continue to pray about it and keep it moving, because it just didn't work out, and I don't have nothing negative to say. So, but yeah. So y'all just, if you're not Proverbs 31, go back into it, Proverbs 31, and read into it. Ephesians 5, men out there, you gotta work on that too as well. We all need to work on it. If you're looking for a husband or a wife, not even if you're looking right now, because you don't have to even be looking right now. But you know that,
But I think when you're single time, you're prepping yourself. So
mm-hmm.
it's,
Yeah.
it's good for us to go over Proverbs 31 and see where we can align ourselves at, where we
Right.
need, adjustments at. So when we do get to that point, we will have
Right.
those characteristics.
And you may not
that
never be the complete
You
Proverbs
might not
31.
be. Might not be.
But you already know what you need to work on.
Right.
Submissive.
Submissive.
But you know what? Even like I said before, I think once the right guy comes,
You will submit.
you will submit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it's something that you have to work on. Like, you've been independent all your life. I've been independent for most of my life, all my life too, since I was 17, 18 years old. Even when I was in relationships, I was always the giver. I was always the one that was like, always planning.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like, where are the romantic men at? The ones that plan, the ones that go out, do stuff. Like, you don't have to be the one that's always doing stuff, because I'm that one. I'm the romantic one. I'm the planner. I'm the one that's going above and beyond. And but again, it just has to be with the right. I had to feel it. I had to know, like,
you'll know. I
this
think you'll
is
know.
This is what it is or whatever. So, but yeah.
So just date with caution and date with, intent.
Date with caution, intent.
Mm-hmm.
Date with the purpose, the intentions to be married, and also date with discernment from God.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to y'all later.
Take care.
Take care.